late than not at all, right? Yep, we're on now, Jeff. So let me go ahead and find it on my phone so then I can see your guys' comments. There it is. This sends perfect color in a drop. All right, so what we're trying to do here is we are trying to take the parts off of this figure and put them onto Battle Armor He-Man. And the idea is that I cannot stand how small they made this chest. It drives me insane. And the chest on the Battle Armor He-Man's way cool. Now, I did put a link in the description for eBay. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us. And in the description, it's a link to eBay to order your own Battle Armor He-Man. And I went and I looked, and somebody has just the torso for sale, no arms, no rubber peg, for like $8. And that's really all you need. You still need the rubber piece, though, but you can get those from other places. So there is a way to make this pretty inexpensively if you choose to. So what I have here is my Dremel tool. I have my hot water, and I got some pliers and parts there so we can start to get this all ready. Now, I'm not going to pull apart this one because it's a pretty nice one, but I do need a head to use. And so I have some various figures here and parts that we'll try. Now, this one's been kind of hacked. It kind of got a little smashed, a little more than it should have. So that's a bad thing. Bad thing. So I'm not going to use this one here just because there's something broken in it. And this one here doesn't quite work either. It gets stuck a little bit. And so believe it or not, my best one is the one that is already pulled half apart. So this is the one we'll be using for our custom figure. So there we go. And it already has the rubber piece, so kudos on that. Let's take a look and make sure it's not damaged. Where's my extra light? Did I not grab my light before I came in here? I need to plan better. All right, let's take a look here and see. Yeah, it looks like that rubber's in pretty good shape, so it'll be good to use that one. All right, so let's go ahead and start with tearing apart of the original Battle Armor He-Man from Origins. And this Battle Armor He-Man, you know, it's got some cool features, don't get me wrong. And of course we got, where is the other one? Of course we got the chrome one too. I'm not going to rip the chrome one apart. Now this one here used to have the blood stains on it, but I took another Battle Armor He-Man and swapped out the parts to not have the blood stains on them, just so I could have a regular looking Battle Armor He-Man, because the chrome does look pretty cool. But I'm just so disappointed in this gray one, just how it looks. He-Man lost his behind. You got it. Poor armor. Yep, that poor armor. Yep, it has seen better days. So in the back of the box, it shows his armor and how you can cut it, and wham, there it is. Now look how big the barrel was in this picture. This is like our old vintage one. It's like, so you know they wanted to do it that way. And up here in this picture, it also shows a big giant open area for that barrel to roll. It's like, come on, Mattel, you guys can figure this out. You guys have some pretty smart engineers that have made some pretty cool things through the years. But anyway, now I know I said I was going to do this a long time ago, so this is a long time coming. But I was just cleaning my room. Oh, bright light. How many lights am I not turned on? I guess that's the only one that wasn't on yet. And so in hopes of cleaning up my mess, part of it was to get rid of these projects that are sitting around on my table. So let's rip this open and have some fun. Battle Armor He-Man. Now, it's funny, is Battle Armor He-Man was actually my first He-Man figure I had. And I've told the story before, many of you guys have heard it, but of course, I'm going to tell it yet again for those that are new to the channel. So, when I was a kid, when I was collecting He-Man figures when I first started, I didn't have a He-Man for a long time. I used to have a Zodak, and my Zodak was my He-Man, basically. And pretty much, I would tend to like He-Man just had a mask on, and that's why he was Zodak. And so, when I was in JCPenney's, supposed to buy my sister a birthday present, I saw Battle Armor He-Man in JCPenney's. And I remember I was in line, I had her birthday present on me, ready to purchase it, and while I was standing in line, waiting for my turn, I saw the Battle Armor He-Man in the package. And just like on the back of Origins, they had something just like this showing the 3 different things of it being healed or whatever. Well, actually, it showed it cutting it. I think I used a battle axe in the picture. I don't remember. And then it showed it with your thumbs on there, like this first picture, fixing it. And so I was trying to figure that out. I thought, is it some kind of clay, or how does it work? You know, how does it actually make the dent, and then how can you heal the dent? And so I was really intrigued by this figure, wondering how in the world it could be that you fix it like that. I had no idea it was a giant barrel at the time. So unfortunately, I put down my sister's Christmas present, and I picked up Battle Armor He-Man. And I used the Christmas money I'd saved for her originally to buy my first He-Man figure, which was Battle Armor He-Man. So that is how I got my first Battle Armor He-Man. And for those that want to know the end of the story, yes, I did go back and eventually buy her a Christmas present. I got her a Cabbage Patch doll, which is funny, is she was still talking about it just a few months ago, one time. So anyway, so here is the Origins Battle Armor He-Man. He's got an ankle articulation, boot cut, knees, the hip, the waist, the shoulder, no bicep cut, and single jointed elbow. And then he has wrist movements here, but can't hold the sword aloft. Elbow bend here, shoulder here, and head here. And he's made to pull apart, but not as much as the other figures. In fact, the only part that comes off, that just shows the sword. Here we go. Oh, his waist does come off. I forgot about that. But his shoulders do not come off. So that is a bummer. All right, so with that, we need to get these arms off. And the way to get the arms off is lots of hot water. And I happen to have that water right there just waiting. So let's go ahead and I'm going to yank his head off first. I'll leave his head on. It's kind of stuck. And we're going to go ahead and make this guy go swimming with the fishes. He-Man, you are going swimming with the fishes. Let's go ahead and oh, you can hear that sizzling. Oh, there we go. Bum, bum, bum. Where's Skeletor when you need him? So you can see the way we're torturing He-Man. All right, so now let's go ahead and start getting this set up. I got to get this arm off. Now, technically, you could just pull it off and it comes off. I hate doing that, though, because it ruins the inside piece of this, because this is kind of almost like a waxy type plastic, and eventually becomes super loose if you do that. And I may want to use his left arm on a different custom someday. So I do want to show you guys something that's kind of important to note, is the original figures, the arms are slightly different. If you have the waxy arms, they are from the Battle Armor. If you have the more different type of arms, they are from the original 80s figures. I saw a figure the other day that you could tell the skin tone didn't match, and they pulled off the arms from the Battle Armor and stuck them on the old He-Man, probably because the fingers were chewed or something else, and they wanted a figure that looked good. So they did the old arm swap. So just be aware of that when you're buying things on eBay. Look for the arms and the changes just to make sure. All right, now we're going to figure out whose head we're going to use. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use this 80s He-Man head because that would be kind of crazy. So we're going to set him aside before I make a mistake. Somebody got this head here. This is a pretty nice head here. I like the way this one looks. It's in pretty good shape. It could use some paint touch-up, which we'll probably have to do later on. Then I have this head on this one right here. And this one I'm probably not going to steal his head, but I probably am going to change out his legs later on. Because, wait a sec, which one works better? Yeah, this one's stuck. Oh yeah, this one works way better. So I'm probably going to swap out the legs between these two at some point in time. Because you can see this one has the jungle rot where this one does not. So I'm probably going to use these legs on this figure in the future. In the future! And then I have a Prince Adam head that looks like it's seen some better days. So I have made my decision, and it is going to be one of these two. Now, before I dive into this, there is another head option that I actually have on the table here, and that is this head right here. Now you're like, why don't you use that head right there? That one's already out and available. Well, this head right here is a solid rubber head. It's not one of the softer heads, and these are more rare and more valuable because there's not as many of these made. So this harder head I want to save someday, and I may end up using it. I also don't like the way it looks. You can see because it's a hard, solid rubber head, it has a very hard shine to it. And it just looks weird. It looks like He-Man is retaining water or something. And it's just has always struck me as kind of odd the way these solid rubber heads look compared to the soft rubber heads. So there you go. I'll put retaining He-Man aside for right now. And let's continue on. Let me take a look at your guys' comments. You have quite a few of them. Yes, I do have quite a few beat up old figures. So again, it's between these two because Prince Adam's head is just... It's not too bad though. It's kind of crazy is... You see that little weird lip around there, how it goes around? That causes the head to not sit all the way flat. And originally they had a ring around here. It sticks out and looks almost like his neck needs to be circumcised. And you'll see that on a lot of these older figures, that it looks like they need neck circumcision in order to look right or work right. And he was one of those figures originally. I tried to cut around it, but unfortunately it just looked worse. So we are not going to use this. And the skin tone doesn't quite match. So off to the side with you. And... okay, back to these two. Okay. I'm going with this one. This one, the paint looks way better. And I like the way this head looks. I want a good looking head on it. So this is the head we're going to use. So let's get him out of the hot water. His arm is probably more than ready to come off. Ooh, look how easy that is. Once you heat it up, it just comes right off, no problem. And you can see that little ring inside there. It does have some damage already, but as you pull that off and on, that little lip around there gets more and more worn out. Okay, so to get the head off, you just heat it up first, probably, and then we'll carefully pull it off. And let's go ahead and get this other He-Man tore apart so we can use his arms. So you can see here, we're just going to take and just pull those right off those giant balls. And then we'll do his legs and pull them off too in a few minutes. I can pull his head off now. Look how small that barrel is. It's so ridiculous looking. I mean, it just looks lame. Lame. You know what stinks about this, though? You know what? I'm not going to rip his head off. And the reason why I was just thinking about this as I'm sitting here is I'm going to switch out those legs later on. Hold on a sec. Before I make any rash decisions here. Where is the other head? Nope. I am going to do that because I'll keep his head on and repaint it. So, yes, that's my plan. His head comes off. His head stays on. Troop, there we go. Easy as pie. Didn't take much at all. And now we're going to reinsert it onto this one right here. And it goes on really easy too. It's not like a rocket science swapping old vintage heads on figures. The trick is just to get a little bit warm first and then push in that spot and do the old twist. Dun, da, da. There we go. And I'll set this one aside for later because I'm going to steal his legs to put onto that other. Oh, he's all wet inside. I'm going to toss him in the box down there so I can get my table all wet. All right. We are partway done. Partway done, man. Yep. Sorry I'm not reading your guys' comments. Hey, Adrian, thanks for joining us. Jeff, thanks for being here. It's weird on my phone. It shows only 3 people are on here, but I could see all the chat. There's got to be more than 3 people on here. Oh, there we go. Now it's showing 31. I was like, what the heck? 3 people? Everyone must have just split all at the same time. All right. Ugh. Let's steal these legs. Same procedure. Now the legs should be easy to put on. So I'm just going to go ahead and just give it a shot and see what happens. I'm thinking about just sticking them right on here, just like that, and putting that rubber ball in there. But before I do that, let's just see. Oh, this has a rubber ball in it too. I was hoping to see how it fit inside there before I, because you know what? I think it needs to go deeper before I put it in there. Hey, Elvis King, thanks for joining us. Okay, let's heat these up a little more. You got to heat them up. Do 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 do. Oh, I didn't grab my small ball tool in order to really jam that in there. We will use these needle nose pliers. Make sure I'm zoomed out of the way. Aim down so you guys can see this. What are all these parts doing in the way? Oh, it's not soft anymore. Okay, it's softening up. Woo, that water's hot. That's what I'm doing over here is I'm dipping the leg in the hot water. All right. There we go. Now it's malleable a little bit. And we shall just jam that rubber ball right inside there and see if it is deep enough to make this work. Hopefully it is. If it is, our job is done. If it's not, I have the mighty Dremel tool. I'm thinking it's not even close to deep enough, but we shall see. So that's kind of the concept idea. Let's get the arrow leg heated up and dropped in there. Yeah, that should work, right? He looks so tall, it's weird. Maybe I should have shaved off the top of his leg a little bit. We'll try this first. If I have to, we'll take it back apart and shave off the top of his leg. Because it's just not as rounded as the original Moto legs were. They got kind of a bump on both sides. Let me put this lid on my water so it doesn't, so you keep the lid on to keep it hot. And Malibu Barbie. Notice I have the non-serrated pliers. You want to use the non-marring pliers to do this so you do not cause damage. Otherwise you will destroy the rubber piece and it'll snap right off. Now it's always fun trying to do the second leg. The first leg's usually easier when you try to do a leg repair, but the second leg's always the one that's a pain to get into the slot. Now I've never done it with origin parts before, so this part's new. Jam on it. You can do it. It's so close. Hopefully I'm still in camera range. I can't see my camera and do this at the same time. I was telling my wife it's why I need a camera girl in here. Arrgh. Oh, hot dog. That's not too bad. Dun da 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 da. Not too shabby. That will work. Yes, I could have sanded the legs down a little more, but I don't think it looks too bad. And the rubber keeps trying to push his legs inward like he's holding from going to the bathroom. But if I was to do this again, I probably would sand the top of the legs. But I think for a rough cut first time, not too shabby. All right, the next piece is a little different because we're going to have to make it match the way this looks. So first thing you have to do is notice this arm right here. Let me zoom in so you can see. is a lot shallower than this arm. So we have to take and cut off that much of the origin's arm to make it fit in there. So we got to make this flat. So if you leave it rounded, it's going to look really strange attached to the body. So we got to flatten it out. So we might lose some of that shoulder articulation this way. So we got to make sure the angle's right so that it still works like the original figure. So we're going to lose that cool up over the shoulder articulation, but we're still going to maintain the forward motion. Now the arms were made in such a way that they were slightly angled. So we got to make sure we keep that angularity when we sand this. So let me go ahead and pull out my Dremel tool. The tool of Dremelness. I didn't even do a sound check. Can you guys hear me okay, I hope, after all this? Now he needs to pee, P-Man. There you go, Jinx Caliber. All right, let's go ahead and get our Dremel on. We'll see how long this video takes. I told my wife I was guessing about 3 hours, but so far it seems to be going together quick. Of course, I'm talking a little fast on it, and I haven't done the arms yet, so this may be totally different once I start doing the arms, so we'll see. So we got a long ways to sand. Yes. Oh, I'm out of range. Sorry, you guys. All right, I know it's kind of boring, so I'm not really talking, but I have to concentrate. All right, let's see where we're at here. Let's see what we got, man. Now, unfortunately, he's probably going to have a hole in the top of his shoulder, but that's just the breaks, right? So let's go ahead and compare. Doesn't look half bad. I mean, yes, it is still a little bit larger, but it is, yeah, it's got to go down a little more, a little bit more. Let's take a look now. Well, that's looking a whole lot better. So it's not quite as small as the original arm, but I think it's still going to work pretty good. I think that's what I'm shooting for. He can be more beefy than the original one, right? Sure, that would be cool anyway. So it will fit on something like that. Look at that. Click at that. I just got to do a little bit more sanding on the inside so I don't break the size of those holes, but you can see we are pretty close. But I'm going to do the other arm first before I finish this. So let's go ahead and get the other arm prepared so I can make sure they're the same before I go too crazy on this. This will be hard because it's a little bit different because it's the other side. You think it'd be the same, but it's not. It never is. Because you got to hold it. If I could switch hands, if I was left-handed. You know what? Let's try that. I don't know about that. Okay, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, it's so different on this side. You think it'd be the same, but it is definitely not. Oops, sorry, you guys. It is so much harder to keep this flat on this side because I'm losing my coordination. All right, let's see where we're at. See if they look the same. Not too shabby. A little bit more. I'm surprised it came out that good so far. Hot dog. It's not messed up. Comparison. What do you guys think? Does that look about the same? I think it looks about the same. Nope, a little bit more. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And soon we'll have the battle armor I gotta pee He-Man complete. Okay, let's check this out again. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's see how it looks. I'll heat these arms up really quick, and we'll just jam them on for now, and then we'll draw our holes in a few minutes. So let me go ahead and change this out, because I know what piece I'm going to need next. My favorite. Actually, you know what? Oh, yeah, that should... thinking this one here maybe. I do like using that one. But this here is the same size as the hole we're trying to make. This here is a fun one, but it would probably destroy the parts. So we're going to go... Oh, here's a new triangle one. Ooh, new. Okay. Ugh. Okay, let's zoom this out so you guys can see the... I am so glad I had this tray. Look at all that water it's building up in there. I was tempted just to do it like I usually do, but I didn't want to get water all over my flannel rug, so which is this mat down here. So I thought I should just be careful. Just arbitrarily throw them on there. And so far, so good. We just now got to fix the hole so it's the right size. And then it shall work. Then it will work. Okay, here's the new bit. Okay, what do we got going on here? Why isn't my pin going in? I should end the video. Why isn't my pin going in? There we go. Okay, this is going to be a little tricky because we have to do a little bit at a time to squeeze the size of the hole just right. So it just slides on. And this sander is a whole lot less aggressive, so it takes a lot longer to sand out. Just a small little hole. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Stop it. Well, that's looking pretty good. All right. Let's swap this out for the Mongo one. The Mongo bit. Not Mondo, Mongo. No way. Is it really that big? Unbelievable. Oh, it's just... It really is. Don't break on me, please. Don't do it. Yeah, I'm just gonna fling around in a circle and smack my fingers. Okay. Back to the little one again and keep going. Keep on keeping on. Now, I've seen other customizers take and replace the innards of the figure in order to use these arms to keep the upper shoulder joint. But being we have the turnable battle armor, I think by doing that you will lose the functionality of the battle armor. And I didn't want it to keep breaking all the time, so... Okay, this is looking pretty good. All right, Let's try this out now. Let's give this a shot, shall we? A little bit more. It's closer though. It's really close. That's funny. It does have a slight little bit of rotation just because of that opening, but it looks dumb when he rotates his arm up. Oop. Okay, let's try the Mongo bit again, just to see how close we are. Ugh. Mongo bit. I have my Mondo coupon ready for trap jaw. Nice zombie sniffer. Oh yeah, there we go. This isn't quite as bad. All right. Let's see how bad this is now that I have this. All right, let's stick it on in there. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. One arm done. One left to go. And yes, I like the original head, so I'm not going to change that. He gets to keep his original head. Oh, wrong one. Ugh. The problem pin. All right, there we go. Now we know what we're doing. It should go a little faster, right? Time for the Mongo one. Ugh. Whew, that Mongo one's still hot from the last time I used it. Ugh. Let's leave it in until it starts to move more freely, and then we'll pull it out. Oh, that does not look too shabby. Ba-da-da! Hooray! Hooray for Hollywood! There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, I'm still thinking about these legs. I may have to fix them a little more because they're still pretty flopsy-mopsy. They still want to go burp, but it's not terrible. I should probably round it out the top of the legs, but I think it's pretty cool. Oh, it's already twisted. Stop trying to pee, He-Man. Work. Ta-da. Ta-da. There we go. Dun-ta-da. And now he has elbows and knees and a little more articulation. Granted, you lost the cool shoulder up and down. I mean, you can still kind of kink it a little bit, but that's lame. I still have some touch-up work to do on here to kind of clean up these edges, but that is pretty much it. And now I got one more thing cleaned off of my hobby desk. Look how nice and clean that came out. That looks really good. Burp. This one didn't come out quite as clean, but still, it works pretty good too. Derp. I'm pretty happy with it. Way cooler. Way cooler than where is the other Battle Armor He-Man. Here you are. Look at the difference. Joop. The wide Battle Armor looks so much better. And the head looks so much better, even though it hasn't been fully painted and fixed yet. Let's see. Unicron says, I think the legs will lift. Will stop tilting inward if you round the legs off. Yep, I was thinking that too. I was thinking about rounding them. Something. And also making the hole deeper so the rubber pieces sit deeper in the leg. Because the original legs, the rubber pieces sit way down here, not so high up. So I need to make that deeper. And then once I make it deeper, where is my screwdriver? There it is. I might just do that now. I still got time. It's not like we are going anywhere. It is Friday night. I'm not going to the skate deck because they tore it down. Of course, I wouldn't go there in my age anyway. Gotta be careful not to destroy the original rubber piece. There we go. One out. Now let's get the other one out. The other one's not going to be quite as easy to get out, I don't think. We shall try. We have to heat it up first. It's into the water for you, He-Man. Oh, I just got out of the water. And we're going to do a little bit of rounding, and we're going to do a little bit of deepening of the hole in here as well to make it so it works better. Yeah, I don't get why it's small either. If the arms are removable, I could see. But being it's just a big old circle thing, they didn't have to make it so small. I mean, they could have made this all one piece like they did originally, like this, and just made these balls. And it would have worked just fine. That's what I mean. They're engineers. I don't know what they were thinking. But this is just a bad design. Bad design. It just has driven me crazy. So, you know what? I'm gonna look for a leg or two so I can know how to shape them. You gotta know how to shape them. I'll be right back. Where is my box of parts? Here they are. Oh. I got another box of parts here. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. So you can kind of see how they're shaped quite a bit different and how deep those holes go. Oh, it's Fistoid arms. Here we go. Here's one that's been cleaned out so you can really see how deep it is. I think I'll use this leg here. But the arms look good. So with the arms, we're doing good. We gotta fix P-Man so he can become He-Man again. Are those blade legs? No, these legs belong to oh, what's the guy with the $1 million hand? The guy with the gold chopping hand. How can I forget his name? Let's see if somebody tells me. Burnt Hordak in the box. Jitsu, thank you. Yes. My memory is failing me more and more and more. Pretty soon I'll be on here going blah, 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 blah. Here's a figure. And you guys have to tell me all the names of the figures and who they all are. These Origins parts cool down way too fast. It's not even hardly flexible anymore. Okay, I don't want to break this. Don't break it. You can do it, Todd. And don't stab your finger either. That's also a bad thing. Ugh. Come on out of there. Okay, more hot water. I think my water's cooling down. Let me go get some water boiling. You guys can stare at him in the pot while I go out and grab some hot water. All right, I got that water boiling in the other room. Well, it's going to take a while to start boiling, actually, but what is this? Oh, it's just, yeah, it's not nearly hot enough. Whew. Still warm, but not warm enough to get that leg off there. So we'll get some hot water in here. That should be boiling in a few minutes. Meanwhile, oh, Matthew, thank you for the cool amount of money. I appreciate that so much. That is very kind of you, sir. Let's see. I guess while we're waiting, we could look at the figures in the box, so you guys can see my crazy madness. We'll take a look at Burnt Hordak. So Burnt Hordak was actually a figure that my son made back when he was a kid, and you could see it has, I believe, Robato's arms on this side. Domo arigato, Misto Roboto. And then on this side, it has Merman's arm, and he painted it all black, and then it has Triclops armor on, and Robato's legs, and I'm not sure whose underwear these are. Nope, those are not Robato's legs. These are Trapjaw's legs. That's funny. Yeah, he just did a whole mix and match, and then he sanded off Hordak's big old shield thing on here, and then he wanted the face look more ninja-ish. So this is one of my son's designs. It was pretty cool. I thought he did a cool job making something. And let's see, he was only I don't know, he was probably like 9 or 10 or something when he made this figure. Yes, now he is 35 years old. Whew, time goes fast. I have a headless Zodak. It's the headless Zodak with no arms. I got the other leg to Jitsu. I got another, look at the skin tone difference from one type to another. So this is the commemorative because it has the rim around it, where this one is the non-commemorative one. It's funny, he's all sticky too. You can just feel the stickiness on the back of his legs. Here's half a Jitsu. Oh, thanks. Stinks, I gotta dump this one first. It's stuck in the bottom. Thank you. Watch out, it's really hot.
Put it back down.
I have to dump it first. Oh, you're back, you guys. My wife brought the water for me, but I didn't dump it. I just pulled the power cord too out of the phone. Thanks for bringing that. Thank you. Oh, we got our new hot water, so that's awesome. Plug my power back in. Can you guys still hear me? Sometimes when that happens, I lose my volume too. So yes, my son did an awesome job with that figure. All right, let's go ahead and dunk him in the new fresh hot water. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, cool. Thanks, Adrian. Yeah, it was fun when my kids were younger. I used to have just boxes of parts, and I'd have them figure out what they wanted to make. And so a lot of the townies on my website were actually made by the kids. Headless Tila. Headless Tila. Well, you guys seen how I used her head. I used her head on one of the Tila figures I made. It's funny. This is from Too Bad, I believe. It's the Too Bad right arm, which I think we use it sometimes on Fisto. Not on Fisto, on Roboto. Skitty to her leg. Bag of random stuff. Orko hat. Swords and stuff. I think this sword actually glows in the dark. It's a custom sword someone sent me one time. Skid it to her face. Dun dun dun. I was gonna try to make a mask out of it for Skeleton. And look, a He-Man body. Woo! My goal was to I bought this with messed up pieces on it, and I was gonna take the battle armor He-Man and remake a new He-Man out of him. All right, that leg should be well cooked by now. Let's see if we can get it out. Nope. Now we knocked off his arm because it got hot too. I need my spreaders in here so I can just open this up and just pop it out. That's what I should have grabbed. There we go. And his other arm popped off because it was warm. Let's just stick those back on there. All right, so our goal is to round these, and then after we round them to deepen the hole so that they'll fit a little tighter. So it's going to be quite the task. Now this could easily go wrong really quick. The good news is behind all those boxes I have a bunch more figures of He-Man that I could potentially grab and use if these legs get destroyed. The arms though only come with battle armor He-Man, so I only have one set of those. So good thing the arms are solidified and we're not going to mess with them anymore. But the legs are a different story. They are just standard, nothing different about them than the other Origins legs. So you can see the height difference too. So we need to take the top of this off just like we did with the shoulders. So it's quite a lot of sanding there to take them off and round them. So I'm thinking maybe I should cut them instead of sanding them down. Let me stick them in hot water for now. I'm going to grab my giant scissors and let's see if those don't work. I'll be right back, you guys. Thanks. All right, I got my scissors here, my big giant choppers, and then I have my smaller ones here that are very powerful. Power scissors. Anyway, so let's go ahead and set these in our pile of tools, and let's get the first leg out. I'll take this left leg here. Geben Sie deinem left leg. Whew, that is hot. And let's compare these. Hey Jason, thanks for joining us. And you can see the top of this has to be lobbed off. We need to lob it off. So I'm just going to take these scissors, stick them in the hole, just like so. And we are going to do some lobbing. Chunk. There we go. Now that looks more like it's supposed to. Yes. With that lobbing, we may not even have to round them anymore. Oh yeah, that fits better already. I'm going to do a little bit of sanding here just to round it a little bit, and then we will call it good and stick it back on. Now the bad part about sanding rubber is you end up with a lot of crazy shards everywhere. Or when you cut, it makes a nice cut. But unfortunately, if you try to cut these things to round them, it's going to make a mess. So let me stick in a rougher piece, because the rougher it is, the better it works on rubber. So I'm going to use this right here. Ooh, ah. And you know what? I need my box again. I'm looking to look for a figure that's missing his legs that I can jam it up inside of. There we go. So now we can see how it fits while I'm sanding it the whole time, as opposed to guessing how it fits. Okay, just the front and the butt. I hate it. No matter how much you're careful, it always changes the finish of those legs on the outside. All right, let's see. And you can see where it's been sanded now, where the finish is actually different looking than the actual leg. There's a couple ways to get around that. One is to use like a clear spray paint on it afterwards. Oh, I got a long ways to go. You got a long ways to go. All right. And this is how you shave off those extra pounds on your rear and on your thighs. All right, let's try it one more time and see how close we are. Getting closer. Getting closer. Oops, sorry you guys. Didn't mean to be out of frame there. let's go ahead and try it now and see how it fits. Better, closer. Almost there. Get rid of that stubborn fat around your thighs. Make sure your thighs don't touch. This is how you do it. You pull out the old Dremel tool. Give it the old 1-2. All right, let's see how this looks now. Almost there. Not too shabby. Just a little bit more. That's what I keep saying, right? Just a little more. Let me take a little off the edge here. And I want you to notice one thing that I try to do whenever I do any customs is I try to leave the original figure alone. You will notice I didn't do any alterations to the actual battle armor figure. If I wanted to, I could replace his original legs, original arms, and you would never know that I did these craziness things to it. So I always alter the parts that are going on it, not the actual figure it's going into. All right, that's looking pretty good. That is almost like a regular He-Man leg now. Hooray. Actually sticks in there just like it does with a regular toy before it's altered. Now, I don't like the way this little piece sticks out up there, but let's see how a regular leg fits in there. Oops, I guess I'll do the right side. And you can see the angle's supposed to be out. So being the angle's supposed to be out, that is sanded just right. If you try to make him stand straight, yeah, then his thing goes kind of weird and cockeyed, but that is going to work just fine. Onto the other leg. The other leg. Dr. Frankenstein. All right. Here goes the other leg. Ooh, it is nice and soft. Should be easy to cut. Now, before we cut this, let's make sure we know what we're doing here. Okay. Into the round part. Dun dun dun. There we go. It's always so scary to do. You never know how it's going to turn out when you start cutting on it. Let's see how it fits. Oh yeah. A lot of sanding to do. Oh man, I'm getting sanding stuff on my blanket. I gotta screw this forward a little more. There we go. This leg should go faster because now we know what we have to do. We know how much we got to take off. We know it's a lot. Let's just get busy and do it. Oops, sorry, out of frame. I gotta readjust this. There we go. It's always easier to do the second one because now you know what you got to do to make it work. And you know it's a lot of material, so you can just go to town on it. Oop, sorry you guys. All right, let's check the fit and see how close we are. Okay. Pretty close first time out. Look at that. Just about got it. See, it's like we know what we're doing now. Bum-ba-da. All right, let's just do a little more sanding on here and it will be ready to go. The sound of the Dremel tool. That looks pretty good. Just a little more on the inside. The gluteus maximus. I guess we'll do it. You know what? I'm thinking about losing these corners here. I'm not sure if I should or not. I'm kind of debating on that. I'm afraid these corners, of course, you know what? Once the thing's in there, it should be fine. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. So we got to make these deeper now. And I got just the tool for that. Look at this. Oh, it is the ball of power. It will rip. It will shred. It will dig a hole deeply into his leg and make him regret ever wanting to have battle armor. All right, He-Man, ready for your hip replacement? Oh no! So you want to jam it in there first, get it all the way down as far as you can, and then turn it on and just let the puppy dig down deep. Just kind of roll it around town, Freddie Brown. Then once you get it as deep as you want, then you're going to take and bring it around and make a big giant opening in there for that rubber piece to sit. Okay, that's looking about where I want to have it. So now that I got it where I want, I will now move that around inside there and open up that cavity so that it can fit that rubber piece inside there. All right, it's looking pretty good. Turn it off before you pull it out. And you can see there, I got that nice cavity going way down deep inside there. That's big. And the hole on top is small. So that's what you do. Jam it in, turn it on, get that deep cavity started first. Bum, bum, bum. Just go straight in. Don't wiggle it too much on your first beginning pass. And once you get it down there, you can see it's just about time to start my wiggle now. Now I'm going to start wiggling it around and make that deep cavity inside there. And again, you don't want to make a big hole, you want to make a big cavity so it can hold that plastic piece, that big rubber piece. Oh, I got that big chunk stuck in there. I should have pulled it out before there it goes. All right, that's looking pretty good. And the idea is to have that cavity the same size as this rubber piece here, deep down inside there. So that is the trick. That is the trick. Those are both looking pretty good and pretty ready to go. So let's heat them up and shove the rubber thing back in there again. Yeah, I think you're right, Lord. What is that? Nephi? Yeah, they could have made room for that. It just drives me crazy how they did not. Now the hard part, getting these shoved back in there. I'm going to take his arms off so they don't cause any damage. We'll try one leg at a time. Just like when you put your pants on. Now it's funny is I usually start with the right when I put them on and then move to the left. So we'll see if that works just as well with this or not. Yeah, nice and soft and rubbery. And we will just bring this around town and jam it on in there. Jam on it. Ooh. Hopefully he'll be peeing He-Man no longer. I got a long ways to shove that in there. Ooh. Ooh. Don't break on me. I should have used the new ones. Ugh. Well, if I ever take this back out, it's never coming back out, that's for sure. So that is a negative too, because if I need to get it back out, it ain't coming back out. There we go. One leg done. One to go. The left leg's always a harder one to do because this one has less room for this rubber piece, and this was going to pull it tight now. So it's always harder to get the second leg. I'm going to zoom this out so I don't get out of camera range because I'm going to be moving this around a lot, trying to do this. Trying to jam it in there. And while this leg is cooling down really fast while I'm monkeying around trying to get this all lined up. Ugh. It will fit, He-Man. You will have articulated legs, whether you want to or not. Hooray! We got it. Now his legs is flinging out. Boop. Yeah, they fit way tighter now. They're not so loose. This leg wants to keep jetting out though instead of going down. We'll see if we can adjust that rubber band a little bit. To not keep doing the side kick. Stick his arms back on. He's got some extra fuzz on his head. Way cooler. Look at that, except for that one leg kicking out. I'm gonna have to fix that. Let's just jam this one side down. That should fix the problem with the leg shooting out. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was some air in there. There we go. There we go. Boop. Not too shabby. Much better. Now I'm happy. Now I got my He-Man. Origins with a big battle armor piece. Way cool. All right. I think that's it. I think I'm done. I think he is as good as he's going to get. Let's compare him next to the other Origins one. Hey, look at that. He's actually still the same height. Hooray. I was afraid his legs would be shorter, but that worked out pretty good. Now, again, he's not quite as articulated. I lost this articulation here, but still he's got elbow articulation, and he's got the newer gauntlets on his wrists, and he still has the knee articulation, so he can still kill Skeletor. So, and I could switch out his boots to other colors if I want. That one is still shooting out. I'm gonna have to jam it in a little more. I wish I had the small one of these. I put it somewhere. I don't know where I stuck it. I don't know where I put it. We'll just rotate that around in there a little bit more. Just a little bit. Da-da-da. Groovy cool. Boop. There goes his leg again. Still way better. Way better. Yes, it is. The original one is so much better. Well, now I might keep an Origins Battle Armor He-Man now. Before I had no inclination to keeping one, but now after all that work, I'm going to keep them now for sure. All right, well, thanks for joining me for this super long video. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and share this video around. I might re-edit it tomorrow or the next day to a shorter version. I might even fix his popping leg here. It's funny, the other side doesn't pop at all. The other side works really good. I'm not sure why this side is causing me so much grief. It's just funny. It's just the way the rubber band is. It's just pa-choink, pa-choink. That's funny. Yeah, it's just the angle of it is just pulling out weird. But the other side, like I said, works just fine. I think it's the way I shoved in the rubber piece. I think it's rolled on the bottom when I stuck it in there, because it was so hard to get in there. I may have to heat it up and readjust it a little bit and roll it a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with it. And I could swap out his hands now, too. That's pretty cool. And you can ride in all the vehicles. I still got to do some cleanup around these shoulders here, though. That's pretty easy to do. Usually just your thumbnail can do it. There we go. That looks better. Oop. Clean these ones up too. I can't know how clean this one came out. That is just so crazy. Looks like it's almost factory made. That one came out so good. That's rare to have a custom come out looking that good from just grabbing a sanding thing and tossing it on there. I got lucky. It doesn't usually come out like that. I probably couldn't do it again. All right. That was fun. All right, you guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Let me see your guys' comments. Let's see. I wonder if anyone will make 3D printed ball joints for the legs that fit the Origins bodies. If they did, you would end up with some issues because it still wouldn't fit inside the pants. So you'd have to actually remake the whole crotch piece. And if you're going to do that, you've kind of already, might as well just use the Origins cross piece to begin with and just alter the inside here. But yep, so there is some kind of craziness to that. I wonder though, you know what we did try? We didn't try to see if we can fit these on Origins legs. You know? I bet you could if you heated them up. They'd probably stick out weird like that. You'd have to cut down, which we're not going to do. But if you were to cut that down, you could stick on regular old He-Man legs onto your Origins. If you were to take and slice this open on the side and heat it up and jam it in there. That's funny. All right, thanks for watching. Let me check out your final comments. I was impressed with having 55 in the chat tonight. Now 41, that's always good. More people. Yes. Thanks for joining me, everybody. That was a lot of fun. Put Origins figure in Thunder Tank, please. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get my camera to aim over there or not. Okay, there is my Thunder Tank. Thunder Tank. And, oh, no, it's not zooming in. And let's see if I can't get an Origins figure in there. I'll take a regular Origins figure that's been unaltered. And I'll bring the camera over in a minute once I get them in there. me take this off the tripod. You guys get to see more of my messy room everywhere. Let me go and grab a light. All right, so there he is. He actually fits better than the Thundercats do, to tell you the truth. So he actually fits in there pretty nice. So you can see he's actually sitting in the seat. And there you go. So there is an Origins figure in the Thundercats new awesome tank. So you can see my rig now. Here's my rig for my camera. Take that light off there. Get off there, light. All right. Let's check out your guys' final comments. By the power of Thundera. Let's see. Have you seen the 3D promo by Ramen Toys? Yes, I've seen their Brave Star. Looks pretty cool. All right. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. I'm going to let you guys go. And it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you. And thanks for joining me on this endeavor of creating a more articulated battle armor vintage He-Man. I got to fix that leg. It's kind of cool, though. Oh, karate chop He-Man. It's weird that those legs being sanded, they actually grip a little bit better. And I could see, too, this rubber band's not quite centered because this leg is tighter than this leg. But I'll get that fixed. I shall get that fixed. That is not going to stand. More hot water, more adjusting. It's got the crooked leg syndrome. All right. And that is it. Any more final questions? Yeah, the shiny one's cool. That's why I'm keeping him too. Granted, I wish he had a big barrel, but it is kind of cool that he's shiny. Shiny! Ooh! Shiny, shiny. Yeah, it was crazy too, as they went on sale for a while there, Pop Actor. All right. Good journey, you guys. Thanks again for joining me. Bye now.